Hi friends, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a book tag. The tag is called the Intimidating Book Tag. So I have a list of 9 different questions that I'm going to answer, and I've got all my books stacked up over here. So we are ready to jump right in. The first question is, what book have you been unable to finish? Well, that's an easy one because I've been reading this since January, and that is Brandon Sanderson's The Way of Kings. So this is Brandon Sanderson's first majorly epic novel. So in this first part of the Stormlight Archives, there's going to be 5 books, and the 5th book comes out at the end of the year. So my goal is to read a book a quarter, basically. But I've been struggling. I mean, I'm about halfway through, but part of the thing is I've been prioritizing other books. And so really, I need to just stop prioritizing this or those other books and read this one. Because I'm telling you, when I read it, I'm sucked in. It is so good. His writing style, the way he describes things, it's not too much, but not too little either. And you fall for the characters. His character development is just amazing. And the story behind everything is just great. So it grips you, it keeps you entertained, and it wants you to read more. I mean, these are 1,000+ pages. So they're huge. There's a huge world, but you're not lost if you understand what I'm saying. So like, I need to just read it and quit putting it off, because I'm telling you, this is gold, and I'm excited to be a part of the Stormlight Archives. So the next 7 questions all start with, what book have you yet to read because? So for question number 2, it is because you haven't had time. Well, so I haven't had time to read the 4th book of the Hades and Persephone saga. This is called A Touch of Chaos. It literally just came out. I like this series. I know a lot of people don't. Or a lot of people like the Hades perspective better. This is just Persephone's. But I kind of like it. Do I want to read Hades? Not really. It's a little bit more raunchy. So, I don't know. I might read it later on to see if I like it, or to like get the extra bits that you see from Hades' perspective compared to Persephone's. But I mean, to me, I really like reading from Persephone's perspective. And this is basically about the love between Hades and Persephone, and their saga, basically. But it's modern day with the gods. So it's really interesting, and I like the premise. So I just haven't had time to pick this up yet. I'm hoping to get to it soon, because I really want to know if this is the last book or if she's going to have more, because it left me on a cliffhanger in the last one. So I need to know if this is the final or if she's going to be writing another one, which obviously, if I read this one and there's a huge cliffhanger at the end, there's definitely going to be another one. So yeah, let you know about that one. The third question is, what book have you yet to read because it's a sequel? So I have yet to read The Poison Song by Jen Williams. This has been sitting on my TBR since, it's been in my lineup since I think Q4 of last year. I was hoping to get to it here soon. I'm probably going to prioritize it for Q2. I don't know. I don't know why I'm pushing it off. I don't know if it's because it's the end and I'm worried that I'm gonna be sad to not be in the world anymore. I don't know. I like the book. The series is very catching and it's very unique, and I like the characters, but there are some very slow parts to it. So to me, it kind of drags on. So I'm worried that this is going to be the same way that the first two books were. So I think that's why I haven't picked it up yet, but hopefully soon. Question 4 is, what book have you yet to read because it's brand new? That is Sunbringer by Hannah Kaner. This came out February, I think, in the UK. And I got the Broken Binding edition. So it's got the teal sprayed edges. But yeah, haven't got to this one yet because it is brand new. I am super stoked to read this. I loved the God Killer world. This one is a little bit longer, but I mean, she writes so well that you'll fly through the book. I flew through the first one, so I'm pretty positive I'll fly through this one as well. I'm excited to see what happens, because the last one, like, super good. Won't tell you anything, but if you know the premise of The Witcher and the relationship between Geralt and Ciri, the first book is basically that. Kissian's the main character. She is hired to help a young noble basically try to get separated from her god that is attached to her, because if her and the god get too far away, then they both will perish. So they hired Kissian to help separate them. Then they meet a retired, I'm going to call him a retired knight that was brought back into service on the way. And so they form a little family, really. So super good book. I really enjoyed it. I'm excited to read this one. I'll be doing a review for this because I just love it. Question 5 is, what book have you yet to read because you read a book by the same author and didn't enjoy it? That would be Holly Black and the Stolen Heir. This is set in the same world as her Cruel Prince series. And I didn't really like the Cruel Prince. The third one was my favorite out of all 3, but it was just so hard to get through. It didn't have the angst that I wanted. It didn't, I don't know, it just didn't do it for me. The third one was the best. So I have hope, but I'm also worried that I'm not gonna like either of them, because I also have the sequel to this one, because this is a duology. So I'm crossing my fingers that I really like it, but I've been pushing it off because I haven't liked her other work. Now, I did like Book of Night, but it's also adult. So I don't know if it's maybe her YA writing that I don't like, because I liked her adult writing. So maybe this one is mixed in a little bit with adult and YA. And so hopefully I'll like it. Question 6, what book have you yet to read because you're just not in the mood for it? That would be The Fifth Season by N.K. Jemisin. I have had this on my shelf, oh my gosh, at least 3 years now, and I have yet to pick it up. Every time I get close, I decide, not in the mood for it. And I think the reason why is I'm really worried about the POV. So I've heard that this is in second person. Do I know that for a fact? No. Should I probably check into that? Yes, but I know one of her books is in second person, and it scares me because I've never read second person and I don't know if I'll like it. So I think that's what's been pushing me off, although I've heard raving things about N.K. Jemisin. Like, she obviously, the 5th season, she's the winner of the Hugo Award in 2016. I think all of these, she won the Hugo Award when they came out. So she's a great writer, especially in world building and fantasy and her writing technique in general. But it's the second person that I think has pushed me off. Is it this one? I don't know. It might be her other one, the Inheritance series or something. But I've been pushing it off and I need to just quit. I need to read it. Question 7. What book have you yet to read because it's humongous? That would be Cassandra Clare's new one, Swordcatcher. This thing is massive. It is a chunker. It is heavy. I mean, trust me, I read a lot of fantasy. There is a lot of fantasy books that are huge books on my shelf, but for some reason, I've been pushing this one off. And I think it's just because it's so big. But yet, I'll pick up other ones that are big. So, not quite sure how to make that make sense. But it's fine. It is on my list to get to here shortly, along with some other humongous books. But, we'll see. I've heard great things about it. I'm super excited. I love Cassandra Clare. Her Shadowhunter series is one of my favorite series I have ever read. I have all of the books. You can't see them because they're up here, but I just love them. So, yeah, I will be getting to this soon, and I will be doing a review on it. But right now, I just haven't got to it because it is huge. So, question number 8. What book have you yet to read because it was a cover buy that turned out to have poor reviews? So, I bought this, The Bones Season by Samantha Shannon, because of the updated cover. I also bought this from Broken Binding because of the edge. And I'm getting the second one because Broken Binding is doing the whole series. So I'm going to have these beautiful books on my shelf. But I did just check the review rating on Goodreads, and the review is 3.81. So not low, but not high either. So it just means that, you know, if you read it, you either like it or you don't. I've heard mixed things about Samantha Shannon. Like her Priory of the Orange Tree series. I have yet to read that. You know what? I could have definitely chose that for the humongous book. I didn't even think about it. Because that thing is huge. Anyway, but I've heard people either like that series or they don't. So I don't know about this one. Just because, like, it's not in the 4s, but it's not in the 2s either. So it's like, do you like it? Do you not? I don't know. So hopefully I like it. This one is really unique. I don't think, oh, it actually does have the synopsis. So I'll read the synopsis. You tell me what you think. I think it's unique. So knowing me, I'll probably like it, but I guess we'll find out. So here's the synopsis. The year is 2059. For 2 centuries, the Republic of Sion has led an oppressive campaign against unnaturalness in Europe. In London, Paige Mahoney holds a high rank in the criminal underworld. The right hand of the ruthless White Binder, Paige is a dreamwalker, a rare and formidable kind of clairvoyant. Under Sion law, she commits treason simply by breathing. When Paige is arrested for murder and thrown into captivity in Oxford, she meets the mysterious founders of Scion, who have designs on her uncommon abilities. If she is to survive and escape, Paige must use every skill at her disposal and put her trust in someone who ought to be her enemy. So, to me, it's unique. Future, a little bit of fantasy, probably a little bit of sci-fi. So, I'm excited to read it. I hope I'll like it. If not, I'm going to have beautiful books on my shelf. The last question is, what is the most intimidating book in your TBR pile? I'm holding up book 5 of the Wheel of Time series. I'm going to say Wheel of Time in whole because it is 15 books long. Very intimidating, especially since I'm not connecting with it like I would like. It might be the writing. What I find most of being able to read this and read it quick is if I do immersion reading. So I have the audiobook and then I read this. If not, I struggle. I don't know why, but it just makes me, I don't know, I haven't wanted to read it. Do I want them all on my bookshelf? Yes, I do. And part of that is because I think I'm just a collector of books, of stories, and I love it. Is this story good? Oh, yeah, it's good. It's unique. The world building is amazing. You can't say anything negative about Robert Jordan. I mean, this series was way before his time when he wrote this. Am I connecting with it? No. I'm hoping to connect with it as the series continues. I'm also intrigued to read the last couple books that Brandon Sanderson wrote since Robert Jordan passed. I am curious to see if his writing, if he mocked it to be like Robert Jordan, or if he wrote it with his writing style, and if that would be easier for me to read. So, kind of an experiment, even though it's a long experiment. So yeah, this is the most intimidating series on my shelf. I'm not going to say book or anything like that because the whole thing is intimidating. It's 15 books long. It's going to take me forever to read because I've got other books to read. There you have it. There is me answering 9 questions for the intimidating book tag. Comment down below on what books you have on your shelf that are intimidating. Try to answer some of the questions yourself and put it in the comments below, as I would love to know. Don't forget, like, subscribe, and be good people.
When you feel it's hopeless, when you think that you lost, oh, I will take your hand and we'll rise up from the dust.